Greetings and welcome to another World of Warcraft video. Today we're going to talk about the add-ons that Dvalin plays with, which is me. So basically I've had a lot of requests, questions about the add-ons I play with. Every time I live stream I always have someone coming in saying, "Hey Dvalin, which add-ons do you play with? Which one do you recommend?" Which I'm happy people come in and chat with me and ask questions. But I thought it was worth it to make a video where I could basically say which add-ons I'm using and which one, I'm recommending and why. So let's go through it. The first list is add-ons Dvalin plays with. I have more add-ons than this, but this is like the urgent top 10, I would say. And then the next 10 add-ons is more like, haha, nice to have, if you know what I mean. So first of all, we have Deathlog, Questie, UnitScan, Nova Well Buff, Pound, Weak Aura, Classic Score, Bartender, Deadly Boss Mod, AtlasLoot. Let's get to it. Why? Deathlog. First of all, Deathlog is a very fun add-on. Every time someone dies, you can see in the top of the screen that the person has died. And also you have like a little log history down here for why they died. You can even go to your minimap, find the death icon, which is a skull. You can open up and see the history of people who have died. You can even go to zone statistics and see, where are people actually dying and why they are dying and which classes that is dying mostly here. Super fun add-on. Also, it adds heat icons like heat zones to your map so you can see where it's dangerous. For example, here is a very good example. You can see a lot of Horde players dies here because they run too close to the Alliance city, and a lot of Alliance players dies up here because they run too close to the Horde city. Good. That was that. I'm trying to make this video not 20 minutes long. That was Deathlog. So, Questie. Why I'm using Questie is because it basically shows me where I can pick up quests and where I have to complete my quests. As you can see here, it tells me that I have to get my objectives from my quest here. It also gives me a way better quest log here in the right side. You can see when I'm tracking the quests, I can track way more quests at the same time, which you cannot do in the classic one. And also I can enable it so I can see, for example, where's the repair master, where's the weapon master, auctionator, battle master, banker. Basically can show me all the things on the map and the minimap I want to see, just like retail. And yes, a lot of people would say, why do you play with this? This is not classic. Well, I don't care. I do it because I like it. So that was Questie. Next one, UnitScan Hardcore, is a very, very good add-on for hardcore players because, like me, who plays hardcore, if we die, we have to make a new character. So basically, this unit scan, you can see on your minimap, you have this icon here, like a red skull. Basically, every time you are in a zone, you can check mark which rare monsters, elite monsters you want to scan for. So every time they get close to you, it will make a very noisy sound and warn you and basically say, this person is very close, or this mob is very close to you. And then you can click on it and it will show a triangle over the map and actually show you where it is. So this could probably save a lot of people from not dying to Son of Aragorn, which I know so many people have died to. Because they didn't use this add-on probably, maybe. Sometimes I've also heard about people where it actually literally spawns on them, which is of course kind of sad. But yeah, UnitScan Hardcore is super good. But remember, every time you go into a new zone, you have to open it and select which mobs you actually want to scan for. So, just so you know. Then we got Nova Well Buff, which is the next one. The main reason for why I use it is because I want to be able to see which layer I am in. So you can see currently I am in layer 2 here, layer 2. And that means if I'm doing a quest and I'm killing some mobs to get some items for the quest, there's too many people, way too many people, I can't get any kills. Then I will ask anyone else in the guild, hey, please invite me to not layer 2, but any other layers. Then a person from layer 3 invites me and I get to layer 3 and magically there was no people there. I can now get all the mobs for myself. I can also risk that there's also players there, so I ask someone else, maybe someone in layer 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 can invite me. So you have to imagine each server has different layers on top of it, so we don't all run in the same layer, and then there wouldn't be enough mobs for all of us. So that's why you have all these different layers. It's very smart. It's basically having 10 servers inside one server. Very smart. But basically I'm using this add-on so I can see which layer I'm in, so I can basically use this layer function to play the game better. You can also click on it, this dragon icon here, that you can see when is the next buff gonna come. We can see here that we're getting the rent buff in 1 hour and 7 minutes, 4:25. Basically, if you have the buff and you can use it, you can announce this add-on here. when you're gonna buff, and then people can go to Orgrimmar and be ready for when the buff comes, because the buff is quite strong. The rend buff, it's the War Chief buff, which is giving quite a lot of HP, so that's also something useful with this add-on. But also, I use it mainly for which layer I'm in. Cool, that was Nova World buff. Then we have Pound, which is an interesting add-on, because basically it just helps me to understand what gear is better and not better. I know a lot of pro players, they're going to be saying you're using the add-on wrong. You should be using calculation and blah, blah, blah every time you get new gear. I don't. I just use it, install it, and then I just, point my mouse over like the gear, and it will tell me this gear here is 608% better upgrade for Feral. And I'm currently using one with 5 stamina. It makes sense because, agility is just better for Feral druids. This one here as well, it tells me for Balanced Druid it will be 155% better, for Feral 200, Feral Tank 8%. So basically, because it's like, you already have quite a lot of stamina, you're gonna lose stamina, but you also get agility, which also gives defense and armor. So I just find it a very useful add-on for noobs like me, where it's like, oh yeah, okay, nice, this one is actually telling me this item is better. And then of course I can be like, yeah, I don't want it, I want it. It's just a nice add-on that helps you to see when an item is better. That's basically it. And I know all the pros, they are using a website where they can put in some code from it, and then you can calculate on the items it had, which item you should get, and blah, blah, blah. But I don't know how that works. I just use it for this very casual work, which I know many people don't because they are better, but yeah. Next one. Weak Aura. Basically, Weak Aura is a sandbox. You can do anything with that add-on. You can add layer listing. You can add anything in that add-on. It's basically like you can build whatever you want. Like you can build any scenario in here. So basically, what I use it for, in my case, is my XP bar. You can see down here I have this XP bar, which is the same for Final Fantasy. This is the one I'm using. So that's my XP bar, which is very nice. It shows me exactly how much XP I have, how much wasted, how much I need, and how much percentage I have, and what class I am and what level. I find it nice. It also shows my HP bar and mana bar, so you can see here, that was the wrong one, here. You can see here that I have this one here. This is the experience bar. This is the one that shows my resources. So this one, and then I also have this one here. So every time I get to 20% health, it will do all this red stuff on my screen, basically to warn me that you are about to die, which is very useful in hardcore. Again, all these profiles here came from a website called, it's called wago.io, which is the profile where you can get all these profiles, and then you basically just search for them. You can see what they called here. Final Fantasy experience bar, simple personal resource display, and low health. You just search for them and yeah, then you find it. Or you can see the link here. You can see there's actually a link here for each of them. If you pause the video, you can see there's a link for each of them, how to download them. So yeah, basically. But you can use Weak Aura for so much more. But that's just what I use it for. Then the next one we have Classic Score, which is a more like a fun add-on. Basically, you can see here in the right corner, it tells me I have a score on 1500. And you can see here that it says I am gold level 1, level completed 80%. It basically tells me my level, how many quests I've done, mobs, professions. It's more like a fun add-on. Every time I go level, it kind of like does a lot of like thing on the screen where you can see you have now reached level this. It also announces in the guild every time you get like a 10 levels up, like, every time it's 10, 20, 30, 40, and so on. It also has achievements in it. So basically, if I go to my minimap, I can go up here and see achievements, and I can see different things. So for example, every time you discover, every time you kill stuff, there's achievements for anything. There's milestones. You can see your character score. You can see the leaderboard for your guild, who has the highest rank right now. It's just a fun add-on that gives achievements to Classic, and it kind of like gives a little fun, like a little challenge in a guild who has the most achievement points. But of course, I can also only see the people in my guild who actually has this add-on. It's just kind of giving, without giving you the retail feeling, it's giving you some of the retail feeling by basically giving you achievements and like nice messages every time you get a level and stuff like that. It just feels nice. Yeah, you don't need it. It just feels nice, You know what I mean? Like, it just feels nice. So yeah. So that was Deathlog, Questie, UnitScan, Nova World Buff, Pound, Weak Aura, Classic Score, Bartender. Bartender is my favorite add-on. It's basically allowing me to have these action bars down here. You can see how it here. On the minimap, it's like a beer called Bartender 4 here. When you click on it, left click, you basically unlock all your bars. So you can like move them around, but just by simply drag and drop. I have a video on exactly on how to use this add-on, in case you need to see it. You can also right click, you can go in here, increase the size, you can remove the Blizzard, you know, the Blizzard art bar down here, which I don't like. But you can do like a lot of things in here, like a lot of things. Moving your bar, making them bigger, making them move around, you know, making small action bars around your screen in case you need, like, I could make even an action bar over here just for my food. So instead of having my food over here, I could just have like an action bar over here with food, like a square. Stuff like that. It's quite cool. But it allows me to get exactly this interface I have here, where I have all my spells down here, just like I do in retail. So I like that. A lot of people, when they watch this video, they're probably going to say, why don't you just play retail? It seems like you want everything from retail over here. Yeah, that's true. But that's because I better like the content in Classic than retail. Like in retail, I don't know what to do. Like it's every time I log on, I have like 100 questers telling me to go everywhere. And I'm just like, no, too much. Good. Deadly Boss Mods, it's basically just an add-on that helps you for doing dungeons. Like every time you go into a dungeon, it's going to tell you the boss mechanics. It's going to tell you this boss is now going to do this. It's basically just a tool that's going to help you doing dungeons, because every time like a mechanic is happening in the dungeon, it's going to warn you and tell you what's going on. So it's just a nice add-on for doing dungeons. You only need it if you do dungeons. If you don't do dungeons, you don't need it. Next one, AtlasLoot Classic. It's only, again, really if you do dungeons, I would say, or grind some specific things, because you can see in the minimap it's like a chest. It's basically where you can go into each of the dungeons and see exactly what gear they drop. So if someone asks you, hey, do you want to come to Scarlet Monastery Cathedral with us, and you play a druid, you can be like, okay, first boss is dropping some decent wrist. Okay, maybe I could come for that. Let's see here. Okay, a two-hand with stamina and spirit. Kind of weird. Not really like, I mean, maybe a healer could use it for the spirit. But the last boss, oh god, he actually has a healing mace, and I'm a healer. And well, okay, I could probably come for that run. You know, it basically just helps you understand what you can actually get from each of the bosses. You can even go to collection. You can go to dungeon sets, and you can see exactly like how would you look by using a different armor set. Like this is, if I was a warrior, I would look like this. Or you can even go in and see like how good is the gear and where does it drop from. You can see these hands are from Stratholme. Then I know, okay, I need to farm Stratholme every single day until I get these hands. You know, it's just a nice add-on that helps you understanding what you can get from dungeons and PvP and a lot of other stuff. So that is my 10 most important add-ons, my top 10 add-on list, if you could say. Then, I'm not done. I have also my bonus add-ons, the ones that is just like, I don't need you, but it's nice to have you. It's like, you know, that one friend that is nice to have around you, but you actually don't need him. Like, that was a joke. I'm not a douche. So the first one is Auctionator. It's just a very nice add-on for like selling stuff. It kind of like, if you're like me, you don't really want to like use too much time on auction house. You just want to sell stuff for the best price possibly. You can see here that if I remove my webcam for 2 seconds, you can see here that it basically adds a lot of tabs down here. But what I usually do is I go to the selling one. Then I can click on the potion here, and it automatically finds, you know, the price that is the cheapest one, and I can just choose to sell it with the cheapest price, because then I would be sure that if someone comes and buy it now, they would be buying my potions, because my potions are cheapest. So you can see the cheapest one is 58, but it would actually place mine on 57, which means I would have the lowest one and people would buy my potions. But then I can of course also see, is this just a scam? Because sometimes we have these scammers who add low prices to hope people would us with this add-on. We just add them and then they buy your item exact like ASAP. It mostly happens in retail, not really classic. But still, you can see like what are people selling them for, and then you can very quickly just say post, 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 post. You know, you can sell so fast via this add-on. It's crazy how fast you can sell through this add-on. But that's primarily what I use it for. But also, another thing with this add-on, which is very nice, is that it also shows you, look at this, it shows what I can sell my items to the vendor and the auction house. It first shows auction house when you have actually visited an auction house. It kind of like needs to scan your items, and then it knows. But if you create a new character and you start playing and you find items, it only shows the vendor price. It doesn't show the auction house because it needs to go to the auction house and scan it first. So Very nice for selling items quickly. Very nice to see actually what items you can actually like sell them for at the vendor. Then you also know, like, if the vendor price and auction house is almost the same, it's not really worth going to the auction. Just, you know, just sell them to the vendor. But yeah, that is basically my first one. Number two, like number, whatever you say, like a bonus list. Next one is Bagnon. So Bagnon is basically an add-on that turns all your bags into one big bag. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Also, I can move my mouse on my gold and I can see all the gold I have on all my different characters. Basically, I can see that I have 1 gold on this guy, or my shaman, 4 golds on my druid, 30 silver on my paladin, and so on, so on. I can also see if of my characters actually has the same items. I can see that Dvalin TV has only this item here. But basically, I could also see if one of my other characters had the same items. It's just a very nice item, and also you can see this potion here can be done by alchemy 110, 155, first at 80. It just like gives you a lot of like extra tips. Like this one here, this item come from leatherworking 175. Even if you compare the add-on called Pawn together with Bagnon, it shows these arrows on your items. Those two add-ons have some kind of a collaboration that they show add-ons, an arrow up on items that are better, which is very cool. If you don't have Bagnon, you're not going to see those arrows up. You need actually the Bagnon add-on to see that. So yeah, just saying. Next one is details. It's basically a damage meter you can see here. Normally it doesn't look nice like this. It's only because I found a profile again on that website, vago.io. So I went into profiles here, I imported, and basically now I have this very cool looking one that has like the class colors on. I love it. It looks so nice. But basically details is just an add-on that shows who deals most damage. So if you go into a dungeon, you play with a friend, or you just want to see how much damage you do yourself, then you can go here. You can see here, for example, let's take the last thing we killed, Fade Dragons. Oh, I can't even see the dungeon. We quested. So here on this mob here, we can see Big Mob Big. He dealt most damage, and I only did 134 and a melee. And then I can see what did he do. Okay, he did melee. His pet did some damage. Raptor Strike, Serpent Sting. And basically, I can analyze what people are doing with their damage and so on, so on, so on. It's just a nice tool to see, you know, how much damage does other in your party do. But remember, don't be a douche with this, because some people don't want to play with it because, you know, maybe they're bad. Maybe they don't know how to do good DPS. So don't call them out because, you know, that's just not fair. So yeah, use this add-on with care. Next one, Druid Bar Classic. It basically just allows me to see my mana while I'm in bear form. So I know, it's like I can see, okay, if I leave bear form now, will I have enough mana to go back in bear form again? For example, if I was tanking and I get low HP, and I'm like, hey, I need to go out, do a quick, you know, 2 healings over time, and back in bear form again. I need to calculate, okay, bear form costs 300 mana, my healing is 280, that's almost 300 as well, and 100. That basically means I need 700 mana to go out of my form, do my 2 healings, and go back in form. Do I have 700 right now? No, I don't have 700 right now. So I would need to be like, this is just a so cool add-on. So as a druid, you can see if you have enough mana to do the action you want to do. Very nice, very nice. So yeah, again, Druid Bar Classic. Next one, GRM, Guild Roster Manager. Super nice add-on if you're a guild master just like me. I have a guild called LoFi Paladins, as you can probably see here. If I open up the guild, you can see here that this is basically the guild we have, and we're playing on a hardcore server, which means people are dying. So what I have done here is I have this tool for, like, you can do so much with this tool. I'm not going to talk all about it because you can do so much. But basically you can see Guild Roster Manager. You can see people, you can ban them so they never can join again. You can see main characters, show alls, stuff like that. But the main reason I do it is because every time someone leaves, every time someone joins, I can see in the chat who invited them, who kicked them. I can see if someone changes nodes. I can see if someone, like, I can see everything that goes on. But the main reason for why I use it as a guild master is for kicking people. Because when, let's say, 30 people dies and then don't delete the character will still be in the guild. Which means I have to go up here. Also, you have guild logs, so you can see exactly what happened. Who got the level, who got promoted, who got kicked. I can see if my officers are kicking too many people or not kicking. Why are people leaving? So on, so on, so on, so on. That's just some nice stuff. But the main reason for why I have this add-on is this one here called Macro Tools. Basically, I have a macro here saying every time people are offline for 5 days, kick. Then I can click to build macro, and then I have to hold down Control-Shift-K, and then it will kick them all, because it's basically using a macro behind the scene. Then I have another one down here, that if they have the node called D, like this one here, like here, D, inside their public node in the guild, you know, like when you go in here and you search for nodes, like this. If they had a node saying D and a date, that means that they are dead. That's the add-on called, that's the add-on here, GRM, that actually adds a note on people when they die on hardcore. But they don't get auto-kicked. You have to kick them yourself. That is why I'm using this macro tool here. First, kick people who are offline for 5 days, because I don't want people who's not playing for 5 days. We only want active people. And also this add-on here, which is basically kicking the people who has the dead marker. And yes, would they be automatically catched in the one with 5 days? Of course they would. Unless they log into a dead character, which wouldn't really make sense. But you know what I mean. What else do we have? Then we have Minimap Button. You probably have noticed that all my minimap buttons, they don't are around my minimap. It's because I have too many add-ons. So I have this one called Minimap Buttons. Minimap Button. Minimap Button. Yeah, that's the name. You can see here, if I click, I get this icon here. It's like an M. You can drag it around. And then if I click on it, all my minimap buttons are here, which is super useful because I had too many icons around my minimap, so I simply didn't have enough place for them. So this add-on here just takes them all and put them down here, and I can open it, close it, open it, close it, open it, close it, which is super helpful, if you ask me. Very, very helpful. Yeah, but again, you can see it's not really necessary, but very, very helpful. We also got an add-on called Narcissus. Basically, the add-on is just like for cool, like it's, I think I don't even have it enabled. Yeah, it's kind of like, it's a weird one. It's a weird one, because what it basically does is, you can see here, this is the icon. But what it does, if I left click on it, it makes this very cool screen where it shows my character. You can even enable in settings that when you go AFK, it goes to the screen here. So when you leave your PC and come back to it, it looks super cool because it's like floating around your character automatically and stuff like that, which is very nice. But why I used it as a content creator was because I right click on it and then I can take nice screenshots. You can see my character here. So you can see here, like I can look around, get a really nice angle like this. And then I can basically, if I remove the text, I can basically move my character like this. And I can take a nice picture. You can see this is how I do my thumbnails for my YouTube videos. For example, for this video, we could do like this. We could do it like exactly like this. And have my character like here. This would now be my thumbnail, and then I will add some text here. Then you can click on the picture here, like the picture button. You can even do group photos, and you can add NPCs. Like, yeah, you can literally, I can add Thrall, which NPC in the game I want to stand next to me, or remove my character and use the other NPCs. So, honestly, I would say I'm using this add-on mainly because I'm a content creator and I do thumbnails. The add-ons probably has other stuff, since I can see in here that it has something called achievements as well here. Does not work on WoW Classic level 60. Okay, so yeah, achievement doesn't work for some reason. But yeah, it's a nice add-on if you're a content creator and want to be able to do very nice thumbnails easily. That's basically why I have that add-on. Moving on, we have VoiceOver, which is a very, very nice add-on. If you're just playing World of Warcraft and you want to have a nice time, just walking around, just enjoying the game, VoiceOver is the perfect add-on, because every time you do a quest, you can see now on each of my quests there is like this talking marker. I don't have the sound on right now. Wait, hold on, I can actually enable the sound. There we go. So now if I do like this.
Stand at attention while addressing me, adventurer. I am under direct command of Baramathras. We are to quell the human infestation.
Yeah, that's it. Basically what it does, you can see, it basically reads up the quest for you. So it basically, so when you, for example, if I let's close it. If I went and talked with this NPC here, if they have, or they need to have like a conversation string, like this, it's basically reading all of this up for me. It's reading all of this up for me like it was a roleplay game. You know what I mean? Like Elder Scrolls Online, it's like it's reading up everything for you. Every time you take a quest, every time you deliver a quest, stuff like that, it keeps reading up for you. It's some guy, lady, I don't know, who made an AI voiceover add-on. So every time you do like a quest, every time you talk with an NPC, it will basically read up what they're saying to you, so you don't have to read it yourself. Super nice add-on, really fun to play with if you're just doing chilly things. So I know there is one add-on missing on the list here. Because I am actually using one add-on more. It's very new that I'm using this add-on, so that's why I haven't included it, because I'm still kind of like learning how to use it. But it's this add-on here called Plater, Plater. You might have noticed that when people get close to me, they have like different plates. You can see this guy here. It says Mooser and then the guild, and then it has this class color. And you can see it doesn't work for people far away. That only really works in retail. But when I get close to people, it pops up and I can very easily see which class they play. And also like yeah, it will give a lot more information. But it's just a nice add-on where you can really customize the plates or your teammates, your party members, enemies, bosses. You can like make them bigger, smaller. You can see casting spells. You can see the HP, the percentage of the HP, stuff like that. I just found it kind of funny, and it kind of like makes some nice font. But again, like look at that. Looks insanely fun. Like good, I like it, and especially when I'm streaming, I feel like that's something that makes it a bit more fun for viewers to look at, because they see all these big. And sometimes you might see some fun guild names, which is hilarious with this add-on here. But yeah, that is basically all my 20, that must almost be 20 add-ons I'm using for Classic. Crazy. And normally in retail, I don't use a single add-on because you don't really need add-ons in retail. But here, I'm using so many add-ons. Probably because I'm used to retail, now I have to get into Classic and yeah. Okay, so basically, this video became almost 30 minutes long. Wow. No one is probably still watching this. So if you are watching this, I don't know, write peanut or something in the comment to show you an OG who actually watched the entire video. So thanks for watching. Have a great day, everyone. This is my add-on list. I know it was a very long video, but this is all the add-ons I use in Classic Hardcore to play the game, which is working very, very well for me. So thanks for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you in another Classic Hardcore video.